Hey everybody on YouTube, it's Hella Bella. This is a July sales update for my Merch by Amazon account. I am very happy to say that I am going to get $620 in royalties for July sales. I have a lot to go over in this video and hopefully it's going to be really helpful. So what we're looking at here is my 7-day total. This is a record for me. I've never had it be this high before, but I sold 43 shirts in the last 7 days and I'm going to get $231 in royalties for that. So that is freaking awesome. I'm really happy with that. And I actually made some sheets in Excel so I could calculate some of the data a little bit easier. Let's just take a look at that. Let's see. So a lot of people ask me, how can you find out how many shirts you've sold ever? So what I did was I went in and actually just copied and pasted every one of the little things here. I would go into that month and select sales for March 1st through March 31st. I would copy and paste that into a spreadsheet, and then I would do totals on that, so where I can see that I sold 15 shirts in March, and then my sales and royalties, and I just added it all up so I could see how many royalties I have made ever. So sales to date ever on Merch by Amazon, I've made 1,313. So obviously this 620 is not in my bank account yet, and that is just an approximate number. It's not exact because the thing is you don't get paid until the month afterwards. So I just got my June sales went into my bank account today, and that was $387. So if you're trying to figure out how to calculate all your sales, you can make these spreadsheets, and I just recommend it anyways because like now I know I started in March. I can see growth throughout the months, and so for July I sold 117 shirts total, and there were 61 variations. I know that because these are each individual shirt, and it goes down to 61 rows. So 117 sales, 61 different shirts. So I made $2,086 in sales, $620 in royalties. One thing to think about is that my sales have nearly doubled every single month since I've started. So if you do start slow, just realize that it's going to pick up. Once you get out of those 10 and 25 tiers, it usually picks up pretty fast. Other things to go over. I started buying PNG files because they're a little bit harder to copy. You can find them on a lot of different websites. I did have pretty good luck with getting like some cute little watercolor files that people have done their original art. Just make sure that you find the ones that say good for commercial use and unlimited commercial use. Other things, I downloaded some new fonts. All the fonts that I got were free, so you know, there's a lot of fonts out there on the internet. I probably wouldn't pay for fonts if I were you, because I know there's a certain number of fonts that do really well on shirts, and I just don't deviate from that a whole lot. So yeah, I have 448 products live right now, and I've been busting my tail, waking up every morning, uploading 10 shirts a day for over 30 days. So I have 52 slots left, and I leave here tomorrow, and I fly from DC to back to Alabama, and then on the 4th, I'm starting to drive from Alabama to Yellowstone National Park, where I'm going to work for until October. So I'm thinking that I'll probably halt my design making, but the thing is, I've figured out how many shirts I've sold ever, and I've only sold 242 shirts ever. So I've got to sell a little over 258 more shirts just to tier up to 1,000. So I'm thinking the time that I have at Yellowstone will be enough time for that many shirts to sell, since I sold 117 shirts this month. Yeah, that going along with that pace, I should definitely tier up to 1,000 by October or November. So I'm calling it now, hopefully being the 1,000 tier by October or November. And that would be awesome because that would be just in time for fourth quarter. And I noticed that there are several listings where there are limited number of there are limited sizes in the shirts, and today my aunt tried to order one of her shirts, and she noticed that there was only one color choice available and that the sizes were limited. So I don't know if they're doing that to people who are in the lower tiers or if they're doing that to everyone, but she noticed that she couldn't get a shirt in a certain size or color. So that's just something to think about. I've heard a lot about people saying that Amazon is throttling right now because they cannot keep up with demand, and that they're going to be doing more throttling in the future. And I have noticed that some days I get a burst of sales and then I won't have any sales for a while. But I mean, people have said the same thing about eBay for years, that if you list more, then you sell more, and the algorithm and all this. So who really knows? I don't know if anyone could really ever figure it out. Um, but I just kind of wanted to look at this through March through July, how just a few months of sales, how much I've grown as a designer, and also just kind of figuring out the game of merch. And it's all totally new, and I know they're going to be rolling out a lot of updates, and I know that hopefully eventually there are better ways to look at the data, because right now you're pretty much on your own as far as figuring out, okay, how many sales have I had to, how much sales have I had to date, how many shirts have I sold, you know, what are the metrics on this shirt. I really want them to figure that out and be able to do that for people in the future, because data is, you know, kind of how I make a lot of my decisions, especially in something like this. So I don't think I have very many more things to talk about. We could click over and look at my actual page, just so you see that I'm not a liar. This is for June, and then of course July is not actually on there. And then this is my 7-day total, and you can see here where I have my 448 products live. So I think that for July, going from 387 to 620 is really a huge accomplishment for me. I know there are some people who make thousands on merch, but I mean, like, I just got started and I'm already figuring it out. So I feel really happy with this, and I'm very pleased with merch sales for July. So hopefully I can do some update videos for you guys while I'm gone. I'm gonna try to do an FBA update video maybe tomorrow, if I have time. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up for my Merch by Amazon sales for July. So thanks for watching, guys.